Welcome back to Conscious Construction, the Conscious Enneagram podcast. I'm your host, Abby Robbins, and it's good to be back. I'm finding right now that I think the trajectory for this podcast is going to be every other week for a little while as we settle into the new year. So thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for sticking it out. Today I have an incredible conversation with a good friend of mine by the name of Emily Keefer. Emily Keefer is a psychotherapist working here in Austin, Texas, and she blends all sorts of wonderful insights and training modalities and approaches into her work. And I'll let her talk a little bit more about what she does in the conversation itself. But just know it's a really great conversation. We dive into what does it mean to have good therapy? Yeah, it's a hot topic. I'm excited. So, before we dive into that, though, few announcements. One, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, this weekend, so Saturday, January 24th, is the start of the Centering Prayer Summit. I've got links down below for you to check out and for you to learn a little bit more about it. Cynthia Bergeau is going to be kicking us off, which is real cool. I'll be sharing on a panel about dismantling the collective false self system. And I just had a little meet up with some of the folks who are going to be on the panel and the folks who are facilitating it. And whew, I am excited. So go check that out. It's going to be great. Another really incredible opportunity I have coming up at the beginning of March. So that's just about 6 weeks away, which feels wild. At the beginning of March, I'm going to be teaching my Yogi's Guide to the Enneagram. So if you've wandered into this podcast and you fall a little bit more on the yoga side, and you want to learn more about how the Enneagram can help you support your practice, those sorts of things, check it out. If you're stumbling in more on the Enneagram side and you want to know more about the practical application of the Enneagram, this workshop is for you. These two systems work together so well to create the transformation we want to see in our lives. So be sure to check that out. Link down below. It is in person at Practice Yoga Austin here in Austin, Texas at their yoga church, just between South First and South Congress. But it will also be streamed online. So you can join online if you'd like. If you are a yoga teacher, it does count for your yoga continuing education hours through Yoga Alliance. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped about this workshop. So check those two things out. And as always, this year, Conscious Construction is brought to you by Perk Coffee. And if you look down in the show notes, you're going to find a 15% discount code for some of the best coffee in the country right now. Yeah, you're going to want to check that out. So I love the folks over at Perk. We're planning some fun stuff for this year, so stay tuned. We're going to be doing some collaborations, but I have to keep things tight-lipped for right now. So check out the link down below for great coffee discounts. And as a reminder, my books are currently open for a few new clients. So if you are interested in doing some really intentional Enneagram work, yoga therapy, building your own personal practice, exploring your own sense of spirituality, these are all things that I would love to work with you on. So check the link out down below to learn more about my work and how we can work together. So without any further ado, let's dive into my conversation with Emily Keefer. Welcome back to Conscious Construction, the Conscious Enneagram podcast. I'm your host, Abby Robbins, and today I am here with a very good friend and colleague, Emily Keefer. Emily, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
The dreaded question.
The worst one, right? We just start right off.
Let's see. I am a human who does like the Enneagram a lot and is friends with Abby, so I feel like those are two.
Those are very important key pieces to ending up on this podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like the meat and potatoes of it. That is important. I'm also a psychotherapist in Austin and a partner and a parent and a friend, a daughter, a sister, a human who's trying to figure it out in this dense earth plane and trying to do my best, man.
I love it. Just trying to live in this dense earth plane. Aren't we
It's
all?
dense, it's heavy right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hell yeah. Well, I feel like we could take a left turn and start talking immediately about the density and just kind of go right off the cliff. But I
Okay.
feel like we need to warm up just a little bit more, just for the
Okay. Well,
listeners who
yeah,
like,
we'll get
we,
there.
yeah, we've been chatting a little bit before I hit record. So I think we're ready to go off the cliff. But I know the listeners have only been tuned in for a minute and 30 seconds.
Mere moments.
Yeah, right. I know. Mere moments. So tell us a little bit about like we'll stay a little bit safer. Let's talk about your psychotherapy work.
Ah, it's awesome. It's the best. Like as a practitioner, I don't know about like, from the client view, like let me know. But
Well, you are successful, so I feel like it must be good from their view too.
most of the time, yeah, like, and it's great when it works out like that. But gosh, for me, I have immense gratitude that I love the work I do.
Yeah.
And then it feels meaningful, and it really feeds me, like from the selfish view of like doing therapy with other people for me.
Yeah.
It's great. I really appreciate that my work has to keep me emotionally sound. Like in order for me to do my work effectively, I have to do my work,
Yeah.
and that is essential. And
Yeah.
so as someone who just like saw great benefit from therapy before deciding to become a therapist, my personal therapy journey will hopefully never end. I mean, honestly, like I do individual, group, training group. I got therapy out the ass, like there's a lot of therapy.
I love
And I
it.
think it helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, and it's probably, a big piece of why you are able to be a successful therapist is that you are deeply engaged in the work yourself. And I find this interesting. Like, there has been a theme since bringing this podcast back that the majority of the people I'm talking to are in therapy of some sort. And this phrase, good therapist, has come up a lot. Like, therapists that don't let you slide on your shit, therapists who are actually inspiring and supporting your growth. And I, having worked in this world and knowing a lot of people and hearing a lot of stories from friends about their therapists, it's like there are a lot of bad therapists out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
like,
lot. Yeah.
I don't think this is something we talk about enough, right? That like being in therapy is one thing. It's important. You should do it. But it's not like you can just walk in the door and expect whatever's happening like to necessarily be good and supportive for you. Like it's really important to have a good therapist. And I think what you're highlighting is that like good therapists are in therapy and they're on their own journey as
Yes.
well. And if at any point that stops, I think your effectiveness as a practitioner is greatly limited.
Beautifully said. I agree. And I think that's something that was not necessarily taught in graduate school, Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was sort of discussed, but I see it as a requirement. It is a necessary component.
Mhm.
Gosh, yeah, and it's with bad therapy, like it's just going to therapy isn't it's not a checkbox. It's not like, cool, I
Mm.
did the intake, I go to weekly therapy.
Yeah.
Good therapy to me is not somebody who just listens and validates. Good
Yeah.
therapy, like, and that is so often, I'm like, what is happening here? You know? Like, go talk to your friends and don't pay me then. Like, that's why are you, if you just want some, like a yes
Yeah.
man, you could get that for free from people in your life. This is supposed to be challenging.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, it doesn't have to be hard all the time. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to just be all of the difficult, heavy work. It can also be fun and we can have humor, but like, it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to make you a little uncomfortable. If we're not ever making you uncomfortable, that's not good therapy in my eyes. It's
Yeah.
if we're not talking about the relationship between the two of us and what that brings in and the
Yeah.
relational components, like something's missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference between like my chat GPT therapist and like a real therapist, like you gotta actually have a human interaction and process that. Cause boy, like that's where the work is.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, you said it. You said ChatGPT, so we're going down this rabbit hole for a second. Literally, before we clicked record, I was sharing with Emily that I was literally like moments ago informed that my book was stolen by whatever, I don't even remember the name of the AI model, and then used to like distribute info. I don't know. However, AI works, it's stupid, not magic. And I'm named in the lawsuit, and so I'm going to get a settlement. And so I'm having all sorts of feels about AI, which like I already have all the time, and now they're like heightened.
It's so personal now.
Yeah, it's like weirdly, upsettingly personal. But it's highlighting something that I've felt and I've had these weird suspicions about for a long time, right? That like this is a dangerous thing. Like the thought of being able to quote unquote do therapy without having a relationship is
Mm.
it's not just like a neutral, well, that's not as good, but it'll work sort of situation. This is actively detrimental. Like the things that happen in therapy are not just what somebody's telling you. It's about the relationship that you cultivate with them.
Mm.
And I'm curious for you, like you live on both sides of this relationship. What have you found? I mean, how have these relationships shaped you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like that one. I feel excited hearing that one. Ugh, they shape me massively. Like I therapist-y feeling. Like I'm very aware of my heart right now. When you said that, I was like,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
How do you even say it? Like they just massively impact me. Even just if we think of from a logistical standpoint of how many hours I spend with people, it's like
Yeah.
I don't see my friends this often. The
Yeah.
idea of even seeing like someone an hour a week, I don't see my friends that
Yeah.
often, like consistently.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of time to spend with another human in a
Mhm.
really intimate space.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like we're going deep and it's so
Yeah.
raw.
Yeah.
And part of my job is to support and challenge you and to push
Mhm.
you and to make you uncomfortable and to build tolerance to sit in that discomfort and
Yeah.
then to talk about it and what it's like for me to push you. And so it's such an intimate, vulnerable relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just so human, like that's the part
Mhm.
that can't be taken away
Yeah.
by AI. It's like, sure, there could be skill use. Like if you wanted, the great ideas of specific coping strategies, go
Yeah.
for it. But let's
Great.
not call that therapy.
Yeah.
That's
Again,
just
it's just a
fact.
download of information, right?
Yes.
Like that's
Yeah.
all it is, which in and of itself, if that's what we're calling it and that's what we're expecting, fine. It's a lot of information. But to call it therapy? Uh,
No,
no.
it's insulting.
Straight up.
Like I'm not insulted by much, but I also like that's insulting.
Yeah, this definitely feels like an area where it's truly righteous
Yeah.
indignation. Just being like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I carry my clients with me. I think that's something that
Mm,
should be talked about more with. I wish that could be more mainstream. I guess just the idea of it is, while it is a professional relationship
yeah,
and we have a very specific agreement, right? This contractual
yeah,
agreement of how we work together, and there's money involved. There are stipulations. There's a lot of rules and
mhm,
ethics, governing bodies. The state of
yeah.
Texas, but it's
Ugh,
that's a different tangent.
yeah.
But
We're not going down that road today. I can't handle it.
yeah, I don't need to.
Ugh,
But like it's just so real. It
yeah,
is a human relationship, and it is
yeah,
a very impactful human relationship. I mean, I think of my clients all the time.
yeah.
Right, like just I carry you with me. That's part of what happens. Like when I take you on my
Mhm.
caseload really means so much more than just our 50 minutes weekly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I carry your psyche with me, and to know your psyche impacts my psyche and that I'm holding that is like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's intimate, and I need therapy to manage all of that.
Yeah,
Like in
well, like
addition to just the professional part, it's like the weight
yeah.
of that is a lot.
Yeah, like and that's what I find so interesting, like looking and granted my profession is different than yours. I have a different set of ethics. I have a different set of boundaries. I have different governing bodies, like as a yoga therapist versus a psychotherapist. And I need to be doing my own work just for myself. But there is a very specific kind of capital W work I have to do to manage the fact that, like you said, I'm bringing all these people with me, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I I think about my clients often. Like it's not just the weekly meetings or the monthly meetings. It's like you're coming into my awareness, maybe not daily, but like close enough, especially
Mm-hmm.
if you're going through a lot. Like I'm carrying that with me. I'm attempting to help you carry the load in a very real way. And that requires its own kind of work and support. Like, and just going back to like, you have to have a therapist in therapy. Like, if they're not, like who's helping them carry this load? That is truly too much for one person. Like, that's silly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's silly, right? It
Like,
feels foolish, like you're setting yourself up to fail. It's too much.
yeah, and it's like either you will fail because you've burned out, right? Because you are attempting to be a good therapist, but you don't have the support, or you're just not being a good therapist and you're not carrying your clients with you. You're not allowing yourself to be affected and changed by what happens in your sessions and what happens in these
Mhm.
relationships. And like that's,
Good way to put it.
like either way, you're not able to show up fully to the work that people are asking you for.
Sure. And I will say, I mean, I think there's sometimes I find myself, it's like the voice of the opposition.
Mhm.
Sometimes what annoys my partner, it's like I will always voice the opposite side, even if I
Yeah.
don't actually that. But I'm having that notion right now. It's
Yeah.
like I see all sides here. But
Mhm, mhm.
I also sometimes I get frustrated with therapists, like with their therapy purity too. You know, like this
Mm,
idea
yeah.
that you have to be doing therapy specifically. Maybe a
Yeah.
specific type of therapy, or you have to be working with a therapist, where it's like there are many, many ways to do the work. And
Yeah.
psychotherapy is one that I prefer. I really love it, but
Yeah.
it's also used in conjunction with many other methods.
Mhm.
And it doesn't have to be that one is any better than the other. And some really do work better for people. You know,
Yeah.
like I've been known, like when a client does an intake call and they're just kind of like talking shit about therapy and how they've hated it. I was like, well, why do you want to keep doing it?
Yeah. Why are you
Like,
showing up here?
yeah, like, have you
Yeah.
thought about coaching? Have you thought of some other modalities? Like, what else can we do? Because if you really
Yeah.
don't like it, you don't have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are other means to the same end, right? It's like not everyone's
Mhm.
going to go to college. Not everyone's
Yeah.
like, it's like just these ideas that we all have to fit into this one way.
Yeah.
When growth has an infinite number of ways to happen. I happen to really prefer therapy, and I really love that I
Yeah.
also get to do it as my job, like double
Yeah.
win. But if that's not for you, it's okay.
Yeah, it's cool. There are other things.
Yeah, it's not the end all be all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's true that like, especially as, I mean, when I was growing up, even when I was like younger, like therapy was still like kind of a taboo thing. Like
Yeah,
you only went to therapy if you were like really messed up, right? Like that was the
something's
thing.
wrong with you.
Something's real, not just wrong with you, but like really wrong with you, right? And I think we've seen this shift over the last, 30 some years where therapy has become much more mainstream.
Hmm.
And I think that that's great and that's helpful. But I think there is some danger in setting it as the example for the only way to achieve this very specific goal, right? Where like what therapy is getting at is it's kind of opening a door to all kinds of work.
Yeah,
And I think and when I would hope that we are, we've hit peak therapy and maybe now this can like differentiate itself. Like, yeah, there like, even for myself, like trying to explain that like I'm a yoga therapist, that does not mean I'm a therapist. Like I'm not an LPC, I'm not an LMFT. Like I have a very different set of things that I do and that I work with, but we can achieve a lot of the same goals together.
absolutely.
Like, and we can walk this journey, like whatever your path is, my modalities can walk that path with you, and your modalities
Mm.
can walk that path with them. But I think, like you said, it's so important for you to find that thing that works for you. And it may even be different things at different times.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Like you might have a phase of like, okay, I went through a phase where like I need like therapy. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. And that was great. And it was super helpful and super supportive. And then I was like, you know what? I need coaching. All right, I'm going to get coaching. And then I went through a phase where I was like, I need spiritual healing. And I saw some spiritual healers, and then I landed in yoga therapy. And I'm like, oh, actually, this kind of fits really well for me. And I've been like vibing on that for a long time now.
Hmm.
But right, like even in that, I was like, oh, well, now I actually need some business coaching, or now I need that, right? Like, there are ways in which we can continue to like shift and change in this space. And yeah, I think it's important for people to realize that. I'm curious for you, like what are the pieces of therapy that feel most aligned for you? Like what about therapy for you keeps you in this specific process?
Okay, so what came to mind first, actually, my mind's like up to point Q now, and I've already like been like, well, that sounds. So I'll just the first thought that came to mind is just like Super Five, not to sound cliche, but I was like, it's so intellectually stimulating. I love the frameworks. I
Mm,
love the theory. I fucking love like just like the information, like the
yeah,
psychology of it. Like
yeah,
that's yeah, of course. That's like what
yeah.
initially got me in. Just reading a book and like, oh well, that's a cool concept that seems real true to humanity. And then you find out there's whole theories for over 100 years on these same ideas, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, there's just there's an infinite amount of information,
Mm,
and it's still a relatively new field.
yeah.
Like in the grand scheme of things, talk
Yep.
therapy is quite new. We
Yeah.
don't have a lot of information,
Yep.
and a lot of the I mean, yeah. Then we have insurance regulations and how that has impacted. Yeah, that's a good catch, Abby. How that's
Yeah.
impacted research and what's considered and why it has to be evidence based and what makes something evidence based. And it's just
Mhm.
like,
And then we get into the whole
goodness,
thing of the DSM, like what? Like
get out of here with trash. Yeah.
I
Again,
love
it'll
that we
gladly
can.
give you a diagnosis if it's helpful and this is what you want. And there's
Yeah.
just so much more.
Yeah, I love that we can both just like poke on each other's triggers. You're like ChatGPT and I'm like DSM and we're both like ah.
Ah! It means we're in touch with our anger, I'd like to think,
Yeah, well,
My
that's
rage is always just like a little coin flip away. It's
just
just
like
right under.
here we go.
Yeah, so what
Yeah.
else about therapy? Therapy is just like, yeah, the intellectual content of it. That for me
Mm,
also, I think when I really started finding therapy that merged with the transpersonal. So
yeah.
like now we're adding this spiritual realm to it.
Mhm.
Um, well, like what's cooler than that? We have the intellectually stimulating, the soul feeding, and it can
Yeah.
also be a career and a personal journey that makes me feel more human and enlivened and genuine and have better connections. Okay.
Fuck, dude, what else do you need? Like, come on.
Yeah. This is why I have this giant bookcase to the end of the wall right here
Yeah.
with like therapy books, and it's like
Woo!
I do read those for fun and they're quite fun to me. Like that's
Yeah.
the learning is exhilarating. Like that is part of this. I think
Mm.
for me that might be why I went down the more like regulated academic path, because
Yeah.
that to me just is really stimulating. I love it. I love theory. I love comparing theories. I love
Yeah.
seeing when different theories are saying the same thing
Mhm.
in different words, right? It's just like, oh, yeah, we're all talking about the same stuff. Just what
Yeah.
language resonates? Okay.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Like, when okay. Sorry. Again, you were all the way to point Q. I had like 6 different directions happening all at once, but the one that's winning out is let's talk a little bit about how you got exposed to the Enneagram and, like, what
Hmm,
that was like for you.
okay. Yeah. How did I was first exposed to the Enneagram by a coworker
Okay.
at at work at a
Nice.
previous job. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I was intrigued, and I continued to read more, and it only grew my interest the more I
Yeah.
learned. And then, like the more you learn, you realize you actually don't know anything, and this is an entire like
Yep. It's the whole thing.
cosmic universe of
Yeah.
magical connection, and it's called the Enneagram. Like, what is this? It's wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's my like a pet peeve when people are like, oh yeah, I took the test, I know my type. I'm like, oh, you know nothing. Fool, stop there.
What do you mean you did the
Yeah, you
Enneagram?
did the Enneagram. Oh, you know the Enneagram. You're clearly embarrassing yourself right now by knowing nothing, sir.
Oh God, this is such a 5 take. It's beautiful. I love it so much. You've just told me you know nothing. And I vibe on that so hard. Like my line to 5 is very well traveled. Oh,
So yeah, I think so. I was introduced with it at work, continued studying it on my own, and really maybe out of that's a bold statement to say out of any framework, because it's not even like specifically a therapeutic framework,
yeah.
but in a top framework to operate from that's always in the back of my mind, where when I actually started to read the descriptions about fives
Yeah.
and the details, I don't know if I've ever felt so seen. It was just like the autopilot parts of self that go unnoticed because they just feel so innate.
Yeah.
And seeing that have words to it, it was both intrusive and alarming. Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
How do you know this about me? And there was something about putting words to, say, like the avarice, the withholding, and then really seeing in my lived experience how often that happens, and that I never even had words for that. I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Yeah.
So like the autopilot of the Enneagram has been super helpful for me, of just the words to the experiences that feel so ingrained that I didn't even know I needed to have words for them.
Yeah. That's what I think is so huge, right? Is that like we know ourselves more clearly through like the difference we experience. And if we're just operating in a way that is unconscious, but in a way that on some level we assume everyone else is operating, right? There's no difference there, right? Everything is just kind of it's the water you swim in, right? Like it's even hard to describe like what I'm trying to get at when I say this. Like if everyone just feels the same way, then there's no reason to name it, right? There's no reason to there's not even any capacity to name
That's a
it,
good term for it. Yeah, there's not even a capacity to name it. Like fish don't
right?
know in water.
Yeah,
They
right?
just
It's like
are.
you can't differentiate this molecule from this molecule if they are the same, right? If it's all one. But the Enneagram kind of comes in and like busts that up and is like, actually, this is something and this is something else. And you sit over here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, whoa, it can add such a three-dimensional aspect to your experience of your own life just by naming that you operate in a way that other people don't.
Yes.
And it's like you don't know that that's the case until you read something like this or somebody shows you something like this. And it's not even I think we all have different ways where it's like, oh, well, I think this way and my partner thinks that way. And it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But like the Enneagram allows you to see the like roots of that in a way that is like it's not just a flippant, oh, well, like my favorite color is blue and my partner's favorite color is green or whatever, right? Like it's so much deeper. And man, it's so powerful when you can put words to something like that.
Yeah. Very enlivening.
Yeah.
Like the depth that gets added, like the roots is a good visual. That's what I was thinking. Just like, yeah, all of the under stuff that has informed what is present right here and observable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I was thinking, and then I went to one of your workshops because we had an office in the same, in like a
Yeah.
same little area. And then I started
Hmm.
working with you. And then
Yeah.
my Enneagram journey felt a lot more embodied and was so helpful. And then the cohort, I mean, yeah, like the
Yeah.
Enneagram's been going on for a long time now.
I know. It's so good.
It just keeps being helpful
Yeah.
too. I mean, I love, well, now I'm like, wait, it's holy omniscience, right? This is the holy idea of the five.
Hmm.
It makes it okay. I wanted to double check that. I was like, if you edit that
You
out,
better
Abby,
not be
all of a
wrong.
sudden I'm anxious and I got my facts wrong. Cool. So that, I think, really learning that concept, I felt so validated when it like put my experience of myself when I do feel pretty integrated and in a flow state and just good. I
Yeah.
feel all of a sudden I trust. I don't expect rejection. I have a trusting in other people and in the world and in myself. I feel playful. You
Yeah.
know, it's like I have no doubt that I have the energy at hand to do the task. Interacting doesn't feel like this chore. It's just like feeling tapped into source energy, where I know that there's an infinite source and that
Yeah.
I've got this. And then seeing, you're like, oh yeah, that's totally like no, you've got it.
Like,
You
yeah.
know, you trust yourself and feel held by the universe and in connection with everything. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, that
Yeah.
is when I feel like that. You know, so like that's where I love the theories where like you have your own personal experience of something and then
Yeah.
you see, oh, like someone wrote about this. A lot of people agree. It's like, this is great.
I think that that is a particularly validating experience for a five, right? Because there can be this tendency to not trust your own experience, right? I think probably fives and sixes have this maybe the worst, right? Like fives being a little more disembodied, sixes being the anchor point of the head center. There's just kind of this feeling of like, I mean, I'm experiencing this, but like, is that, am I really experiencing this? And a former co-host of the podcast, Brandon Hill, talks about when he discovered he was a five, he was like, oh man, that five like really resonates for me. And but he was kind of almost like, like it might be just kind of like surface level astrology stuff. I don't know if I buy into it. And somebody mentioned something about the arrows, and he's like, oh, like, so he understood the concept of the arrows. Like when you feel really comfortable and safe, you kind of move towards this one. And if you feel really stressed out, you might move towards this one. And he was like, well, I don't know what it's like for everybody else, but I know what it's like for me. When I feel good, I move to the 8 space. And when I feel bad, I move to the 7 space. And then, of course, the teacher went around and taught. And that is exactly,
Yeah.
and that was the moment where I was like, whoa, okay, maybe this like has some validity to it. But I think there's something powerful about how it can be so supportive to have your experience validated in that way, where it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, you are having an experience and like other people have had it too, and it's very real. And this is kind of what it looks like.
Oh, see, I never thought about that from the five lens. I like
Mm.
that. Yeah, I never really thought about that because this is something that I really enjoy, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be an intellectual pursuit at all. Like I
Yeah.
like to, for example, sounds really lame, like try different cheeses or like different wines, different little things that are like coffees, all
Hmm.
and I like to like not know what the description of it is, but
Mm.
sort of like a blind taste test and be like,
Yeah.
I'm noticing some hints of dill, or maybe there's some cayenne. Oh, there's like a smoky taste here.
Yeah.
And then looking at the label and seeing like that's what they were trying to do, or like where
Mhm.
was that flavor profile? So I like that is
That's
from the
awesome.
five lens. I never thought about that.
Yeah. That's so interesting because I like from an 8 perspective, Jesus Christ, it's gonna sound so on the nose. I like I will do the same thing. I will do like the blind taste test, but then I will just argue with the label.
Yes.
I'm just like, they're so fucking wrong. That's not blueberry, it's raspberry. God, how could they be
Idiots.
so stupid?
It's like the farmer who made the recipe wrote that on there, like fucking loser. He didn't know
Yeah,
anything.
right? Again, it's like, we're just out here doing what we do. And I've learned not to take it so seriously, but it's just funny to see, like you give an experience and it's like on some level, you and I are doing the same thing, but reacting totally different to it. Like, and it's so beautiful. It's like all of this belongs, and like, look at how silly we are. Like, look at what we're
Yeah.
doing. Like,
All of this belongs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's, so I love that. I'm curious, like, you said it's kind of always running in the background. Do you feel like you use this a lot with your clients?
Yes, as an overarching answer. And
Okay.
then I think, so what, as a framework that I'm wondering how it applies to them, and maybe we've never spoken about the Enneagram,
Hmm.
apply it everywhere, every
Yeah.
time. Like that is
Yeah.
just a core way of like, I wonder what Enneagram type this person is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like it's helpful, right? Like
Mhm.
just in the sense
Yeah.
of a framework, or thinking of like, oh, you might have a real difficulty with this if I think you
Mhm.
might be this. And so maybe we should look
Yeah.
here. Just, like an educated guess sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I have clients who specifically we talk about the Enneagram and they want to
Mhm.
do some Enneagram work. And so
Yeah.
we get to go more specifically and call
Yeah.
that Enneagram work. But I may have never said the term in a session, and that is a framework that I am holding because
Yeah.
it's rich, it's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, obviously I use the Enneagram in my work, but it's like, it's one of those things, like, cause I'll have, especially, as a yoga therapist, I'll have plenty of people who come to me for like very physical things and they don't know or care about the Enneagram at all.
Okay.
And but it's so interesting because I think at some point when you have studied this system and this tool long enough, it sort of like dissolves into the background, and then it's kind of a part of everything,
Yes.
right? There's a way that I am very subtly using this tool all the time. Like, even if I don't know your type, even if you're not interested in using the Enneagram, if we're working together, even if we're working on incredibly, like, we're rehabbing a knee injury, right? I'm using this tool
Mm-hmm.
and it's incredibly effective.
Yes, it is incredibly effective.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can vibe with that. I resonate with the just like it's in the background.
Yeah.
It's just how I view the world.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when someone might say like, well, don't psychoanalyze me, or don't, and it's just like, one, you're not paying me, so I'm not going to right now.
Yeah.
Two, the other side of that is like, that's a sassy inside answer sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I can't separate myself from this. This
Mm,
isn't, you know what I mean? Like also that
yeah.
sounds so, there's so many things like we can unpack all of that. But the idea of like, the way that I see how you fit into your environment and how your history has informed the behavior and this
Mhm.
relationship that's playing out in front of me is just how I view everybody all
Yeah.
the time. Like that's how I've learned to make sense of the world and feel safe and move through it.
Yeah.
And it happens that I get to use that professionally, but
Yeah.
it's not like something that I get to turn off. It just is
Yeah.
me. Like I am going to think about you and your relationships, and you're knowing like, oh, well, that person did have that happen. And I wonder if that's informing how they're showing up right now. Like whether you're my friend or my client,
Yeah.
how do you not see person and environment and think about how they've been impacted?
It's such a five answer. How do you not do this?
How do you
Like,
not?
how do you not take in the whole of the situation, what's happening in the context and all that, and put it all? Lots of people don't, man.
Yeah, the Enneagram's taught me that. Lots of people
Yeah.
don't.
But what I think is so interesting is that, like, there is something about this tool, and you said it earlier, that, like, you felt so seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is something, right? Because there are still plenty of people who are, like, resistant to therapy, and
Sure.
maybe even especially resistant to good therapy. And resistant to things like the Enneagram, or, whatever it is, and just like this, the imaginary person that you're talking to is like, "Don't psychoanalyze me." Like, there is some fundamental fear of being seen in this very, like, deep and intimate way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, and I think it's especially uncomfortable when you realize that the other people in your life are seeing something that you can't see,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that one piece might be the most important reason why I think everyone should be learning the Enneagram. Because you can't see your stuff, but everyone else can. Like, it's not a secret. It's
Right.
not hidden. Like, your stuff is not like, you think it's in your shadow, everyone else can see it clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this tool puts you on equal footing with everyone else in your life when it comes to, like, how you see yourself.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I like that even like from a social justice perspective, right? It's just
Yeah.
like this equalizer
Yeah.
that we all have access to.
Yeah. Right? And it's like,
And we're all
"Oh,
helping
okay."
each other. Like the
Yeah.
other is part of it. Just like we can never experience or really see self fully without the lens of other.
Exactly.
And that fits beautifully with the Enneagram.
Yeah. Well, and I talk about this so much, like, I think especially in our, like, peak therapy kind of culture right now where, like, therapy speak is being weirdly weaponized and disembodied from its original intent and all of these things. I think there's a way where we're everybody's looking for wholeness, right? Like, well, we want to be whole. And, like, okay, I get that. I get that impulse. That's cool. But, like, that's not an individual pursuit. Like, you are an individuated person living in a world full of individuated people. We can't contain wholeness,
Hmm.
right? We're just a little fracture of the universe. And if we want to experience wholeness, we need to move more deeply into the rest of the universe.
Now we're talking.
Right? I know we kinda took the gentle way to the bottom of
That's
the cliff.
nice. I like the gentle way sometimes.
I don't usually, but I've learned
Yeah.
it's helpful for other people. It's like, "Oh, see, I would have liked to have started the conversation here, but it would have lost a lot of people along the way." So,
I appreciate your flexibility.
yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah, but we need each other. And this is such a powerful tool for supporting our relationships.
Yes.
Right? Like, yeah, it does support us in our very, like, individual spiritual journeys, but our individual spiritual or psycho-emotional journeys are never that individual.
Never.
Like, if they are happening in earnest, you are moving closer to other people at the same
Hmm.
time. I love the wheel analogy, right? Like, we're on spokes of a wheel. If we're moving closer to center, we're moving closer to everyone else.
Hmm.
Like, that's
Yeah.
that's how it works. I'm curious for you, you're engaged in this work and, like, moving closer to center, et cetera. Like, what does it look like for you to move closer to other people as well?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's like the work with a capital W.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, but actually, what first came to mind is just how it feels. Like it
Mm.
actually feels really good.
Yeah.
Like when I can get past the fear of it, like the thinking part of it is the distortion
Mm.
for me. Like the thinking is that
Yeah.
it's going to be bad and unsafe, and it could hurt. Like sure, that could be real. It
Yeah.
could be unsafe, but like the thinking is if I stop there, I'll never I'll never get to experience this ultimate goodness
Mm.
and this God to feel connected to other people
Yeah.
is like the most beautiful thing in the world. Like I really can't. Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah.
about. Like that's why I'm a therapist. Actually, I never even thought of it exactly like that. But like to like that, I'm gonna say that. That's the one, Abby. You helped me land there.
We found it, and it's
That
about
connection.
connection to other people. Who would have
Oh
thought?
yeah,
We're
what
5.
a wild thought. Only took me 13 years in this field to get to
Yeah,
get to that sentence today.
happy to help.
It's yeah, it's so enlivening. It feels like
Mm,
so juicy
yeah,
and real and like ripe, like something that's
yeah,
just there and ready to to be experienced. I
Mm.
think we have talked about about this before, but like for me, such an important part of my spiritual practice is dancing.
Yeah.
Is fun and pleasure. You know, like I can meditate and journal and do
Mhm.
tarot and all, like I can do the contemplative practices,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And when they're embodied, what a cool thing that is.
Yeah.
And what a
Yeah.
different experience, you know, and specifically like with dance, I think of it when we get to celebrate with other people, like dancing
Mm.
together on a dance floor where
Yeah.
everyone's there and like they're loving it and they're having a good time. And it just feels like we're like
Yeah.
all together collectively stirring up the primordial goo that we all came from. And we get to celebrate this life on the dance floor with like reflective disco balls and stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't get better than that.
Oh.
I really genuinely believe that pleasure and fun, things
Mm.
like dance and just enjoying each other's company, like that is an essential part of getting through this dense earth plane.
Yeah.
And there's a hell of a struggle. And so that also means let's celebrate when it does feel good,
Yeah.
and let's embody that and have fun with that. Yeah, just made me think a lot about like dance and just
Yeah.
I've said before, like my quest for self, like capital S self, is
Yeah.
only paralleled by my eternal quest for the best dance floor available.
Yeah.
Like, where
Yeah.
is it just like, yes, all of these humans are killing it and we are doing it together.
Oh, more quote unquote contemplatives need to go out dancing.
Yes,
Like,
everyone needs to dance,
I mean,
especially
I agree.
head.
You know my story. Like Danielle and I, my wife and I met on the dance floor. Like,
Yeah.
that is like, it's so important. And it's like, there's something about, I mean, you kind of like pointed at it when you were sharing about like the purity of therapy. And I think there are ways in which this like contemplative or deep inner spiritual work can get real fucking stuffy
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of up its own ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fucking go dancing.
Right? Turn the
Where,
music up and have fun.
where is your joy? Like if I'm listening to you and I can't feel that you love being alive,
Mm.
why would I want to follow down the path that you're taking?
Yep.
And that's not to say that life isn't hard and that like shit fucking sucks sometimes, right? Like I'm not out here good vibes onlying it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know, like you said, there's a way in which this like this embodiment, this joy, this pleasure, it cuts through the density of the
Yes.
earth plane, you know? Like it allows you to move more gracefully through it. And if you don't have that, things just start to feel kind of stuck.
Yeah. Stuck and stuffy.
Yeah.
You
Nobody
know, like
wants that.
no.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think sometimes it just gets stuffy. It gets stuffy in
Yeah.
the therapy world, in the self-help world. It
Mm.
could and I really do, I think that's like a slightly newer realization where like I've had the lived experience of it, but really putting words to it
Yeah.
is like specifically it's been helpful with my partner. She believes that like the same thing. She is all about like fun and playfulness and wanting to have a good time, like but not ignoring the heaviness, but
Yeah.
just as a celebration of we have this earth form, we have this body, we have this amazing ability to it's like a reflection of all that is, right? Like the thing that
Mm.
God cannot do is get out there on the dance floor individually and dance with other people. And
Yeah.
so let's celebrate that and like be the embodiment
Yeah.
of joy when we have it. Not in a manufactured fake way, but like if you're
Yeah.
feeling it, let's really feel
Yeah.
it and make it bigger.
Mm.
Enjoy it, celebrate it.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be enough of the other stuff, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and I get that
Always.
we can't always be in like that's not a it's a place that you dip into, and when and if you can dip into it and go a little deeper, what a treat.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing that's being highlighted is that it's not just joy,
Hmm.
right? It's
Yeah,
not just the
much more.
pleasure. It's not just these aren't necessarily the things, right? But there is a way that these things are also, they're vehicles for moving towards other people. And that's when they become the magic, right? Like, it's one thing for you to dance around your house by
Mm.
yourself. That's
Mhm.
great, right? It's fun, it's
Yeah,
enjoyable.
great
Like,
practice, helpful.
nothing wrong with that, right? Often very supportive. And if your dance isn't pulling you towards other people, it's not complete, it's not fulfilled, right? And it's the same thing with music. I mean, these last 6 months, I've been playing more and more music, and it's like, it's one thing to, like, play by myself, and that's fun and enjoyable, and that's good practice, like you said. And I'm finding that, like, very counter to how I kind of embodied my musical career when I was younger, is that I don't wanna do it by myself. I wanna play with other people, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
that is where real fucking magic happens. And it's same thing with all kinds of art. Like, yeah, you can paint a beautiful picture, but it's not complete until you share it. And all of these pieces, it's like they have some level of good intrinsic in themselves, but they meet their highest good when they are pulling us into relationship with other people. And I think that's true of the Enneagram as well. Like, it's great, work on yourself. Yes, you have
Mhm.
to do that. And that work has to be pulling you towards other people.
Yeah. Expertly said. It's almost like you're a writer. Like, that's so beautiful.
It's almost like I wrote a book that ChatGPT has stolen, and oh boy. What a weird world we live in.
Yeah, it's not complete if it's not pulling you towards others.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And again, it's the same for therapy. It's the same for, especially in this moment where I mean, so much of the conversation is like, oh, we're going no contact, and I'm cutting off members of my family, and I don't want to talk to people who have differing ideas and all. Like, I definitely think there's so much validity in removing yourself from harm. And there's a lot of areas in our lives where we got to toughen up a little bit and lean into the discomfort of maintaining relationship that's challenging,
Hmm.
you
It's going
know?
to be challenging. There will be discord. To be in
Yeah.
relationship is to have disagreement.
Yeah. I mean, harmony is only harmony because the two notes are different.
Oh.
Oh, right. But, like, if you're just singing the same line, that's fine. It could be beautiful. It's a beautiful melody. But things become enhanced when we hear the same idea from different perspectives, right? Where we can find what we have in common, even amidst what we experience as different. Like, I don't know. We got to find a way to, like, really allow ourselves to be pulled into relationship and maintain it even when it's hard. And again, this isn't a blanket statement. It's not a generalization. There are plenty of situations where it's like, that is wildly unhelpful to be in maintaining that
Sure.
relationship, right? Like, and I don't know that we actually experience those moments as often as we think we do.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's a lot of work there.
yeah,
So much.
yeah.
I think that for me, it was making me think about what I love about group therapy. Like,
Mm,
even more than individual therapy, I like group therapy. Group therapy is
yeah,
wild. It's
yeah.
great. And it's just, now it's not just me and another individual in the room. There might be 8 or
Mhm.
9 of us in a room. So
Yeah,
I have so many more mirrors towards self and how I interact with others and how people are going to interact with me and what oh my gosh.
mm.
I have 9 times as much data as I did from one individual. Love it.
Which is great and terrifying.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
totally terrifying, gut-wrenchingly terrifying. But
yeah,
I think about the connection, the moving towards people, and I think of it, it's almost like, man, if you've done individual for a while, try group. Let's see this
yeah.
next type of therapy. There's so many other options to move towards
Mm.
people, right? It could be like group psychotherapy. It could be connecting with people on the dance floor.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
just like, yeah, the move towards others is that's where it gets really good. That's where it gets juicy. That's where, like, it gets hard for me. I recognize that I have to
yeah.
be resourced, that I have to not just be in my head. That if I'm just in my head, I'm going to get stuck in the fear of all the stuff that isn't even true.
Yeah.
Largely is not even true. And it's like doubting the capacity that even if it was true, okay, I can handle it.
Yeah.
But once I move past the neckline, I'm like, oh yeah, humans. Okay, I can do this.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Moving past the neckline. That's good. That's good.
You know, it has to be an active practice.
Yeah.
There are days where it's just like, nope, too dense out there. Let's stay in here.
Stay up here, floaty.
Yeah, like I'm aware of it and I'm okay right now. Or like, you know what? I do feel more spiritually aligned and emotionally rich, and I want to connect with people. And for me, specifically, when I want to connect with people and I'm actually doing something about it,
Yeah.
that is my number one sign of sound emotional health.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, I'm okay. Like I'm back. You know, if I had like a
Yeah.
period of not being okay, it's like, there it is. I'm actively reaching out to this person who I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm not just thinking about them and thinking like, oh, I'll do that later, or I guess I should tell them that. You know, it's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
No,
I
I'm gonna
moved
do
to
it.
action because I want to.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. You move to action because you want to. That just feels so profound because, I mean, right, especially for fives, this move towards action can be so fraught and so hard and feel so inaccessible.
Shaming. God, yeah. I just think of like the internal dialogue of like the stuck, right? Where it's like, you know it, it's where you want to be, but this just, it's not a good place always.
But then you just like, you highlighted such a beautiful perspective of like, I move into action because I want to. Like, you're not doing it out of some sort of sense of obligation or like there is this like internal motivation. It just feels like such a, I don't know, like a light at the end of the tunnel for fives, right? Like you can get to this space where it's like, no, I want to. And
to
I'm
celebrate it when you do as well,
Yeah.
knowing that it's not supposed to be. It's not going to be there all the time, but when it is, like let's act on it. Call that friend, reach out to that person, do that thing. You know, like put yourself out there, because there are a few times that I personally regret it. You know, I might be like, well, that was dumb. I shouldn't have said that. But like, do I really regret it? No,
Yeah.
not at all. We
Yeah.
are, the importance of group and interaction and other humans on the journey is just, we would be, it's so foolish and egotistical to think that you can figure it out alone. It's just like, haven't we all tried? It's not working. It doesn't work that way. It's just not, we're just not set up like that.
I mean, it's that saying, like, if it worked, it would have worked by now. Like,
exactly.
Like, for every single one of us individually and for humanity as a whole, if it worked like that, it would have worked by now.
Yeah, we would have ascended. We'd be there. It's not happening.
No, we got to try a different approach. Oh, yeah. Well, Emily, thank you so. I feel like we could talk for like ever.
We could.
But you know, there are other demands on our time today.
Must come back to the real reality as well.
Yeah, right. I know, it's such a bummer. We got to like claw ourselves out of the cliff we just jumped off of. But tell the listeners a little bit about where they can connect with you if they're interested in reaching out and learning more about what you do.
Yeah, go to my website. It's just my name, EmilyKeefer.com.
Cool. EmilyKeefer.com. I love it. Simple, to the point.
To the point. Yeah. It's the necessary information.
Yes, here's the necessary information. Wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Even though I know every time I've asked you to do this, it is very stressful. I'm so grateful that you showed up and that you were able to share so eloquently and vulnerably about your journey and your process. And yeah, I'm also just really glad that we're friends. So,
aw, me too, Abby. I was thinking that too. I'm This was an example of moving towards connection and others, right? Like it would be easy to be like, Abby, I'm not doing that anymore.
No, thank you.
They're like, good to talk to you, but no.
Like, let's go grab coffee. I don't want to do it on a recording.
Not filmed.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I have a lot of
Again,
gratitude and appreciation for you, and
yeah.
just a lot of respect for your work.
Well,
And
thank
so,
you.
like, yeah, you're the real deal. And of course, I want to support you in this podcast.
Oh,
Obviously,
thank you. Well,
big fan.
and I think the same thing about you. And so I'm like, everybody, if you need a fucking therapist, call my friend Emily. Well, and you're in Texas,
Yeah.
you know.
And I mean, yeah, and I'm also legitimately happy to help people figure out the right fit for therapy. I
Yeah.
understand that, like, even if it's not me, or if I'm full, or like there'd be better
Mhm.
someone better suited, I enjoy helping people navigate
Yeah.
the waters of therapy and trying to figure out what type of therapy, what therapist, like how what
Yeah.
tools to use to get there. It can be an overwhelming process. And so
Mm,
even if it's not
I
with
love
me,
that.
I'm happy to walk you through. Try to
Mm,
point you in the right direction at least.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. What did I tell you, folks? Such a great episode. I feel so grateful that Emily and my paths crossed when they did, and that we've had the opportunity to build such an incredible relationship. I'm really vibing on the conversations that I'm putting out right now, because really it's just me grabbing my friends and having really wonderful conversation. So I hope that you're enjoying it too. If you are, please be sure to click, comment, subscribe, share, all those things over on YouTube if you're watching. And if you're listening, please consider leaving a rating or a review in your podcast app. If you are a type 5, let me know what you thought about this episode, about Emily's approach and the work that she's done personally. And if you're not a 5, maybe you send this to a 5. Maybe you send this to someone who needs therapy. Maybe you send this to someone who has a bad therapist. Oh man, now we're getting into all sorts of issues. But share this podcast if you have been enjoying it. I know that if you like it, someone in your life would likely like it as well, and you can talk about it together. What a great deal. That's really the best way to help us grow the podcast. And don't forget that paid subscribers over on Substack get access to all sorts of other goodies. So check that out down below. And until next time, don't forget to breathe.